Rosemary Grigg is an absolutely beautiful lady. She's married to Martin Grigg. In the fall of 2011, she was diagnosed with malignant pleural mesothelioma. It is a cancer caused exclusively because of exposure to asbestos. She has been suffering from this disease now for over a year and a half, and she will die from this disease. Mrs. Grigg went to Hayward High School, and in high school she met and fell in love with her husband, Don Brown, in 1949. Don Brown had already started working as an insulator. His job was to insulate pipes, boilers, turbines in industrial and commercial settings. In the course of his work, he came into contact with insulation manufactured by a company called Owens, Illinois. Owens, Illinois made Kalo pipe covering and block insulation, which came in sections, and he would have to cut the sections to fit it around pipes, miter around corners of pipes, to insulate equipment, also block insulation. This block insulation created huge levels of dust, and that dust contaminated his clothing. Every night or every weekend, he would take those clothes home with him, and his wife would do the laundry. His clothing and his body contaminated his household, unbeknownst to him, unbeknownst certainly to his wife, and she breathed the dust from the asbestos products, and she developed malignant mesothelioma many years later. In addition, Owens, Illinois, when they decided to make the Kalo product, the Kalo pipe insulation and block, they decided to have the product tested. These tests lasted several years in the 1940s, and the Saranac Laboratory wrote back to Owens, Illinois and said, yes, your product is dangerous. Your product is an industrial hazard. Your product has toxic properties in it. So what did Owens, Illinois do with this information? They didn't take the product off the marketplace. They advertised the product just a few months later in many different publications as a non-toxic product. They made the decision to manufacture this product in mass quantities and sell it throughout the United States. This is an animation of Don Brown taking a piece of Kalo pipe covering, and the jury saw as he cut the pipe covering with a handsaw. And as you can see, there's dust that's being emitted from the Kalo pipe covering. And the dust was visible in the air. You could see it, and it got on his clothing. As you can see, Mr. Brown's coming home from work, removing his work boots in the garage, walking into the house, into the bathroom where he removes his work clothes. He removes his work clothes, leaves them in the bathroom, comes, sits down. His wife, Rosemary, would go get the work clothes. She'd pick up the work clothes and walk back through the house. And remember, these work clothes are contaminated with asbestos fibers from the Kalo product. She would take and walk back through the house, go out the door. She would shake out the work clothes, and in the shaking out of the work clothes, it would create dust, visible dust in the air, which she breathed. This is the dust from the Kalo product that caused her to develop this cancer. The jury deliberated for about 4 days and thoroughly considered all the evidence, all the exhibits, the testimony that was introduced, and returned a verdict on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Grigg. The total verdict that the jury returned for all the suffering, all the harms, all the losses, and also for the punishment was $27,342,500. It leaves a lasting impression, both on me and other people that hear about it, learn about it, and understand what happened in Oakland on that day. It was a fantastic result as it relates to justice, because justice was had on that day.